Hello and welcome back to another OmniHeroes video. Today we're going to be going through hopefully stages 90 to 100 of the Rift Odyssey event. Now I've just cleared Nightmare 91. This was a tough stage and I've been trying for a couple of days, just when I can, sort of 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, trying up different strategies. But it does seem as though the strategy that I've used, specifically the Glorian strategy, as per usual, is the best way forward. And it does take you a little while. This is the exact setup that I was using. So shield, spear, you've got the heart crystal, which gives the crit resistance, so it increases all attacks of Glorians, typically speaking. Dodge, because if you can't be hit, you can't be killed. And crit rate as well. So we're just going to try the next couple of missions. I don't know how this one's going to be. I suspect it'll be very similar, but we'll give it a go. Especially given all of the phantom synergy that the enemy has going on. So the setup here is primarily for the two deviant synergies at the front. Hopefully these two will survive. If they do not survive, then I suspect that we are in deep doo-doo, so to speak. So we just need Marcia to survive. Fortunately, a lot of misses there. So we've got the ignore shield buff going on, and hopefully now we can do what she needs to do. No splash damage, which is a shame, and no stun. I don't think these enemies can be stunned. The relics that I'm using, I've decided to go with the heal over the shield bonus, primarily because it's just, you need the healing and it works well, as you can see with the other one. So the only thing keeping us alive at the moment is that shield relic. The shield relic's so important in this season, and hopefully they'll bring it back. But we'll have to see how this one goes. No trigger there from Nawi. I suspect this one's going to be a fail on this, unless they keep missing her. I don't want to jinx it, but like I said, if you can't be hit, you can't be killed. And unfortunately, I spoke too soon. So yeah, just a complete wipeout on this one. We might have potentially been able to get there had Navi not just been taken out, but this is a fail, unfortunately. So we'll try again. And this is, unfortunately, this is what it is when it gets to end stage content. There's just no getting around it, unfortunately. Yeah, it's the Verdant synergy mixed with the Phantom synergy, and it's just such a pain. The reason that I moved Nawi over is hopefully to avoid the reflect damage that Merlin was doing. That was the thing that was taking us out, and with Azusa being on the front row, real pain. So it looks like on this one we're not going to be able to make it all the way through, just because of the RNG chance, unfortunately, getting those procs to kick in. Closer that time, but again, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Unfortunately, with this type of content, it's not fun content, it's not challenging content, because irrespective if you go with a Doomsday setup, which I have done on the previous stages, the fact that they just keep coming back over and over and over again, it is a wall, an RNG wall, effectively, the devs have put up, and it's very disappointing to see it at this stage, to be honest. But it is what it is, so we do keep trying. And let's go to clear records and see if there's anything different. Yeah, it looks like Elma here is the key. This one is different and there's no Nawi in there, so we can try it. Let's see how this one goes. Yeah, we're still doing a little bit of damage, but not consistently the same with without Naui, unfortunately.
I will enjoy this to the fullest.
We'll try this one again. Just check. Yeah, relics are the same. Closer that time. But no, there's no real strategy to this. It's why I've not put another video out with regards to this stage. Just because it is RNG chance over and over and over again. If Naui procs, then she procs. If she doesn't proc, then that's, unfortunately, it is what it is. So you've got to get a lot of different things all correct. And we got close on that one, but it's because they all revived. They all got brought back. Again, we're in the exact same situation. Unfortunately, now we will go down before they do, which is a shame. I've got my Naui built up relatively well. Now I might use this opportunity to just go through the current state of the game. Personally, for me, I'm enjoying the content. I'm enjoying everything that they're bringing out and they're bringing to us. What I don't agree with is the lack of resources that are typically provided. So, for example, all of the food, the way that you progress in the game and build up power level, and you build up different different units is by that food mechanic. So you get your lower units or your epic units, turn them into fodder effectively to level up your other units. And although I do agree with the system, the amount that's required to level up one, I think it's around I think 12 units, something around there. Don't quote me on that, but it's just, you require so many of them in order to progress, and it really is a real stickler for people who don't have as many resources to spend on what they need. So it looks like we are getting close, and we're getting the enemy below sort of that 90% threshold. And if we're able to get them below the 90% threshold, we are able to win. So I think I might just skip ahead here until we're able to complete it. I'll see you on the other side. So I'm back, and it took a little less time than I actually thought it did. So again, Naui doing the most damage here. Seraphina healing the most, or Naui actually receiving the most healing, and damage taken. We didn't take altogether too much damage for the statistical data. I'll just see if I can replay. No, unfortunately not. So I can't replay it, but this was the exact setup that I used. I did try a couple of different things, but it was the effect resistance by 50%, which seemed to put me over the edge, or it allowed me to win. So the effect resistance, I suspected, might reduce the damage being dealt by the reflect synergy of the Doomsdayers units within the enemy team. And the reason that I went for that is primarily because I want to receive less damage, and it seems to have paid off. So apparently the effect resistance by 50%, you can pick that up in the season relic shop for 6,000 of the currency that you pick up. I did try the axe, but kept failing very consistently on round 2. So apparently the axe, the spear and the shield was not the right combination to get through. So we'll see what this next stage has to hold. Potentially we want to keep things exactly the same, so we'll have a go and just see. So now we're increasing our attack, getting the attack buffs here. I did switch around Talinas and Gwyn, mainly because my Talinas has a higher damage reduction stat than the Gwyn. If I had Gwyn at full, if I had Gwyn at with an exclusive rune set, I would definitely put him up front because he effectively becomes immortal after that point. Hopefully these shields won't do too much to our frontline units. So Talinas here on the enemy team being the biggest threat by far. Fortunately we've got Naui opposite. Naui does so much damage, but unless she procs properly, you don't see the benefits of it, unfortunately. So that's it, we are shields down now, and we're just effectively hoping on Naui procking. We'll get some shields back with the Hand of Tyr. What a great relic that is. It's the first one I ever picked up, first legendary one I ever picked up, and it's got me through a lot of tough and difficult stages, as I'm sure if you do pick it up, then you will. Now it looks like we have spot on. So I think this is actually a win, but we'll see. Who knows, if Talinas goes down, that's it for us. The shield really coming in clutch here. Not this shield, the actual relic shield, letting our backline units survive. So yeah, it's just a matter of time on that one. So we move on to 94. Let's move now. We opposite Talinas again, and we'll just see how this one goes. Yes, that was a win. That was 5. And it looks like, yeah, taking out Talinas, who is the biggest damage dealer, would be the best strategy. Now on this one, we're not too worried about the revive effect because we've got Gwyn. We discussed that in excuse me, in previous videos, where Gwyn will take an action after the enemy Lachesis as well, which will allow the revitalization effect to be removed or debuffed, and it will provide us with just some breathing room for this. So if either of them go down, the front 2 units, we should still be okay. We'll get a big heal here from Seraphina. I mean, healing for me, it's good. It's really good. It doesn't win you the games, but often it will allow you to live long enough for your other units to win. So this one looks a lot tougher because there's a 4 Monarch synergy. Our Naui hasn't procced, unfortunately. A lot of misses from our team here, or from the enemy team, giving us a lot of no proc again. Oof. So yeah, the healing allows us to survive, and a lot of misses. I always say, if you can't be hit, you cannot be killed, or your team can't be killed. So dodge mechanic for me is probably the best mechanic in the game by far, irrespective of sanctuary, of blessings, of anything like that. It is for me probably the best. So we'll get another big heal in here, get our attack increased, hopefully start doing some proper damage to this team. If not, we can always try, there we go, there's now propping. We can always try something else, such as a Doom setup, but again, we're just not getting that sort of damage in with Naui that you would normally get. So we'll see how it goes. No proc again. We just get very unlucky with these procs. Because the reason that the procs are so important is because there's 4 instances of that damage. So even with a full Monarch setup like this, you attack the initial unit 5 times, which is potentially the 20% each time, if that makes sense. So now we will attack, she'll proc, she'll do 4 basic attacks, and those basic attacks will then each be an instance of 20% each, which should lead up to what we need to. So it was nearly a kill, but not quite. So I think we may just get through this. Yeah, with those misses, we should get through this absolutely fine, because all of our units have survived so far. That's Talanas down. Unfortunately, all of our buffs have been removed now, because Talanas has gone down, because of the royal synergy that's in place. We do get the blessings, they are going back up, and then now we proc it again, taking out the revitalization effect. Yeah, that was done as soon as we took out that Talanas. Man, what a unit, what a boss. So we'll try this again. I'm going to move Nawi across, so this is 96. I'm going to move across to Karnak, and hopefully we'll be able to take Karnak out quite quickly. If I do fail on this one, I might try a Doom setup and see how that one goes for me. So let's save that, go into presets. We'll go down here. Just going to save this preset so we can come back to it later if we do need to. And let's try the Doom setup. I don't know whether or not it's going to be effective or not, but we'll have to see. The Demon Blade Whip for me so far is very lackluster. Doesn't really do too much. I do see procs for it when units do attack and receive healing and all that. We'll just see whether or not we can take it. So it's they're performing counter attacks. Yeah, so our max HP is going up because of the Demon Blade, but again, just not good enough. Unfortunately, taking too much damage, and enemies are not taking nearly enough. So yeah, Doom setup for me, not the way forward. If you've got really powerful Doom setup, absolutely, yeah, go for gold. But from what I've seen for this particular Doom setup, they're just gonna keep eliminating them. So I think potentially the other way, the other setup that we had going on. Let's click deploy. We'll keep trying this one. Let's try moving Nawi over, because I think it's Themis and Elune that are doing the most damage. Although Karnak is the main threat on this one. Oh no. So it seems taking out their damage dealers. Let's just have a quick check. Taking out their damage dealers what is the priority in this one. So taking out Themis, who would do a fair chunk of our health, as you've seen in the previous Dooms setup as well. On this one, the Monarch synergy is going to be very strong, so we're going to need a lot of procs, I suspect. Fortunately, we'll be able to go under shields. Yeah, so that's a victory on that one. So they are relatively easy. I'm going to go straight for Atrops on this one. Sorry, I've just knocked the mic into my cup. I'm having some coffee at the moment to wake me up and keep me going. Yeah, so even though we took out the Atrops, it was still death, unfortunately, because of the striker synergy that the enemies have. So the Sal, Solomon, and the Atrops all raise an attack every time. So it looks like we are again stuck because of the Phantom synergy and the Mystifier synergy. So this will just be a stats check, unfortunately. So we've got to keep going. I'll try a couple of times. If I can get through, I get through. If I don't, then I will. See, we're getting very close very quickly. Normally it would take a couple of times, and we'd know whether or not we'd be able to get through on this one. So it is going to take a couple of attempts to get through 99. We're getting very, very close. I think taking out the Persephone here, who's providing the healing for the team, is going to be the quickest way forward. But if I do find anything different, I'll let you know. And we're back. Sorry about that. It took me a little bit of time to get through that stage 99. It is really just all down to RNG. So we're up to the final boss. I'll show you the setup I used to get through 99 in just a second. But the mercenary boss, so is immune to all damage, loses 1 HP when Sanctuary is triggered, heals the boss for each round. So Sanctuary being triggered, we want a lot of Doomsday synergies, or other units that will allow us to trigger Sanctuary. So deals 100% damage to all enemies, applies a blood curse to all enemies, reducing their attack by 50%, deals 150% damage to all enemies, and the amount of damage taken from a single instance cannot exceed 5% of own max HP. And then when the attacking unit attacks any target under the Sanctuary effect, the damage inflicted on the boss is increased by 100%. So really what you want is to be a whale and have the new unit available for you. But because we don't, and because I can't, a lot of teams, so you see Eudora there, Catherine at 4 stars, Eudora again. So it looks like this may be the best setup. So what was that other team using? Because sometimes you can see here we're only at 12, so we're missing out on a specific relic. So let's just have a quick check. Landing a critical hit has 10% chance to trigger Awaken, and 1 stack of Sanctuary for 3 rounds. So it may be that this is the piece that we need. Yeah, so we look on all the previous clear records, triggering that Sanctuary effect is the way forward. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to go to the Mist Merchant, the shop, and it's this book here. So I've got enough to buy it, so let's have a go with that one. Looks like it's ethereals, but seems to have worked out in our favour. So this is the setup that I'm going to go with, primarily because of the clear records. So I see on here that Astrid apparently is a very vital part of the team, and I suspect it's because Astrid will allow Atrops to ultimate twice, which will give Lamia the damage buff that she needs, and Nawi will get those damage in as well. We'll see how this new relic goes, see if it's worth the investment, and we'll take it from there. Let's have a go. So of course we can't skip, just because you're supposed to enjoy these boss battles. So it looks like Sanctuary has been triggered. We just need some crits. Whenever Sanctuary does trigger, we do get the -1 health off each of these sea urchins or mermaids. So no Sanctuary triggering there, no Sanctuary triggering there. But we do have the double attack stack. So hopefully we see some crit here. No crit unfortunately, so no Sanctuary triggering. We will get the shields up just to avoid any damage. Some crits there, but no Sanctuary trigger. So it just looks like a very long fight, I suspect. It's going to take some time. Holy Shield, Sanctuary activated. You get the -1. Enemy boss is healed, but eventually we'll be able to take him out, no problem. We just need this Sanctuary to trigger. Which again, it's It's a real pain because not many units do trigger Sanctuary besides Lamia here. So as you can see, we got the -1 off everything else, but it's going to be a very slow process. Just have a quick check. Landing a crit has 10% chance to trigger Awakening and 1 stack of Sanctuary for 3 rounds. Elo gains double trigger chance. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, you've got the 10% chance. Increasing your chances, even if it is by that 10%, is a real, I think, a real requirement. So Sanctuary trigger in there, but no -1s. We can skip now, but I don't foresee us losing this. Maybe potentially because we're not doing enough damage to the boss and we're not triggering Sanctuary enough times. Might be the cause of defeat. I'll have to see. So all the heals here. As soon as these minions are gone, it's about it. It's all we need to do really. But because they don't attack, we don't trigger that Sanctuary. We do get the blessing, but we don't trigger Sanctuary. So it seems.
Radiance will protect us. Be gone! Be gone! Let the hunt begin. Drown in the depths of the ocean. Target acquired. Silence is key.
Okay, so that means that we have lost, potentially. Yeah. So maybe we try a different strategy. Bear with me. Sorry about that. Had some life stuff get in the way of making the video, but we shall press on. So we are doing this boss here, the Fallen Priest. We do need Sanctuary to trigger as many times as possible, really. So we're just going to have at it and see how it goes. Now, so that's a fail. We got to around 30 on that one, so obviously we're not doing as much damage as we need to. So let's go into clear records and just see what everybody else has been using. If we try this one, potentially can try this with a partial Glorians set up with Lamia and Atrops, give us that additional bonus with the Striker synergy in place, and it looks like we got there. 18 out of 30, so not too difficult. That last stage, you just require the specific artifacts, that being the Sanctuary trigger for the critical hit, Atrops and Lamia here doing enough. So let's clear and get those sweet rewards. So this D&D selectable hero, it is for the majority of the old heroes. You can get Karnak in there, who is not available in any other place other than the Oracle shop, and Lachesis as well, who's not available anywhere else. So it looks like a successful run for all of us. Well, for all of us who have watched. Thank you if you have watched all the way through. And if you have any questions, any queries, any comments, just leave them down below or go to the Discord. And yeah, I just wish you the best of luck in your season.